Good day. Thank you for joining us for today's news. If you find this helpful, please consider subscribing. We're here every day with calm, clear updates just for you.
In the wake of Cyclone Gabrielle, Bremworth is making a bold move to restore its Napier factory, which was severely damaged nearly 2 years ago, with an investment of $6 million. The company is set to bring back its yarn-making operations, creating 40 new jobs in the process. The factory, once a hub for 150 employees, was left in ruins after floodwaters submerged its machinery and electrical systems. Since then, Bremworth has had to rely on imported yarn from countries like China and India, but the quality has not been up to par, now with the rebuild done and improved. The new facility is expected to be up and running by the end of October. And interest from the local community has been overwhelming. Former employees are being rehired, and new hires are coming in as well. Bremworth's CEO Craig Wolford is optimistic about the future, saying it felt great to be rebuilding and wishing they had done it sooner. As the plant resumes operations, Bremworth is also exploring new markets, including the production of synthetic carpets to meet changing consumer demands. This is a story of resilience, showing how a community and a company can come together to restore what was lost and build for the future.
In a dramatic and symbolic protest, 2 activists from Climate Liberation Aotearoa have climbed into a coal bucket at the Stockton mine. Using the aerial ropeway cables as a zip line, their goal is to disrupt the transport of coal to the Denniston Plateau to expand mining operations to the Denniston. Rachel Andrews, one of the protesters, spoke from the coal bucket, emphasizing the urgency of the climate crisis. She highlighted the need to prevent further environmental degradation and criticized the fast-track process as undemocratic and drains, even if it means facing consequences. However, local residents have mixed reactions, with some supporting the mine for economic reasons. Bathurst Resources Limited's CEO warned of the dangers of the protesters' actions, but the activists remain resolute. They are determined to continue opposing the mine and the fast-track process.
In Aotearoa, more women than ever are facing homelessness, with Auckland seeing a dramatic rise in the number of women living without shelter. Lisa Marie Perdman, who recently moved into state housing after 18 months of living under a bridge, shared her journey of creating a makeshift home on the streets. Reports show a 90% increase in homelessness in Auckland since last September, with women being disproportionately affected. Many of these women have histories of abuse, neglect, or domestic violence. Community initiatives like the Manaki Tangata Wellbeing Space are providing essential support, offering hot meals. However, advocates warn that without more investment and targeted policies, the crisis will continue to grow. As Auckland Council's Community Committee prepares to discuss the issue, calls for change are growing louder with the help of community workers, but the need for action remains urgent.
Heavy rain from Cyclone Gabrielle is causing concern in North Waikato as the Regional Council warns that drainage systems may be overwhelmed with all of Waikato under a heavy rain warning and severe wind watch. And as Derek Lefting says, the rain could exceed the design of the drainage, leading to surface water. This puts pressure on landowners to move livestock to higher ground and avoid areas that might be cut off by floodwaters. The catchments are already saturated, and any additional rain could cause water levels to rise quickly, increasing the risk of landslips and flooding. The council is all a buyer, mitre. Residents are advised to check the council's floodroom website for RexTAFE updates and to prepare for the potential challenges ahead.
Tragic incident involving a 12-month-old baby who allegedly received an adult dosage of phosphate from a pharmacy has sparked urgent calls for reform in medication dispensing protocols. Medical professionals and parents are now advocating for a law change that would require medications to be checked by 2 people before being dispensed.
New Zealand has extended a tax cut for heated tobacco products originally set to last 1 year by 2 more years. The decision made by NZ First Associate Health Minister Casey Costello has drawn sharp slashes excise duties on products like Philip Morris's IQOS device by Foe Purse was a name. However, The evaluation has been delayed until 2027 due to the withdrawal of Aotearoa from the market, which left the products unavailable. Is giving off. Health officials warned that there's no evidence ATFs are safer than cigarettes or effective in reducing smoking rates, with the tax cut potentially costing up to $293 million by 2029. The decision has raised serious questions about the government's commitment to public health.
A tragic incident involving the death of a 2-month-old baby has sparked calls for urgent reforms in medication dispensing protocols. Medical professionals and pharmacists are advocating for mandatory 2% checks to prevent future tragedies.
Alice Licknecker, a third survivor of the Mama Hooch case, has lifted her name's suppression to help other survivors and advocate for justice. Her journey from trauma to empowerment one another in the face of injustice.
In 2015, a newborn died due to a lack of oxygen during her first mestang session after the midwife Lessa Haynes left the room for 25 minutes. A coroner's inquest concluded that the death was preventable, citing Inadoides who calls for reviewing postnatal care guidelines in New Zealand.
New Zealand is considering sending patients with gynecological cancers to Australia in a last resort move due to a severe shortage of specialist gynecologists, with many trainees leaving for Australia, and the government is under pressure to address the crisis and ensure timely, high-quality care close to home.
That's all for today's news. We appreciate your time. If you enjoyed this update, please consider subscribing. Your support helps us keep going.